There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit.
In tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc, and it starts now. Welcome, everyone, to The Psychic and the Doc. We have a very special show today on December 12th, 12/12/24. There's got to be something there, and I know Dr. Pat's going to be talking about that for sure. And we got a great theme tonight. It's the beauty of a blue holiday. And I'm Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer, and I'm here with Dr. Pat Baccili, world-renowned behavioral psychologist, founder of the Transformation Network, host of the award-winning, long-time-running, and still running every day, The Dr. Pat Show, and I'm just so privileged to have her as my co-host. And we're here for you, all the listeners, for the holidays. So, Dr. Pat, the beauty of a blue Christmas.
I love it. You got to know who sings that, right? Does everybody know? Does everybody know who sings that?
Let me think there, Dr. Pat. I'm gonna have a blue Christmas without you. Elvis definitely made that song a huge hit. And Rocky was telling us, Rocky, our producer, back in the day, she was a backup singer for this guy named Jesse Bolt, who was an Elvis impersonator, and on a world tour. And she has all this really great Elvis trivia, and she said that. Yeah, she was, she was like back there doing the sha-la-las and the ho-ho and all. And the thing is, when Rocky explained that when Elvis was given the song, he didn't like it. He thought it was depressing and all that, and they did it anyway. And they did it like a month before Christmas, and it hit number one like within a matter of days. And it's definitely one of his most iconic, certainly I'd say his most iconic Christmas song. But there's a lot of facets to a blue Christmas.
But that song, though, I mean, the deal with that song is, first of all, nobody does it better. Let's just, I don't care how many remakes or reclips or read this or whatever you're going to do. Do not try to voice over this song. Don't bother.
Yeah.
Don't bother. But, okay, true confessions. I can't believe I'm going to say this. So I grew up. My sister is 12 years older than me. She is now since passed, but 12 years older. It's like a big gap. Dad thought he was going to get a boy, and he got me a hybrid. What do I mean by that? Please don't email me. No, that was so what I mean by a hybrid. He got me in the world as a girl, but I was raised as if I was a boy. You got it? Now, here's what I mean by that. Is uncles give you boxing gloves, you get holsters and guns. You don't get, the only doll I had was some weird stuffed doll that I don't even remember. Anytime they gave me like a doll, I ripped the head off and I did something with it. But my uncle gave me an Elvis guitar.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
And I loved Elvis. My mom, before she passed, loved Elvis. My sister loved Elvis. And I actually thought I was Elvis. So what was the turning point for me? This is what you don't do to your kids now, folks. I'm just going to say this. But A Blue Christmas, I love this song. I love this song. Let me just be clear. I cannot sing to hold a note. I couldn't do what Mark just did in opening up the show. It couldn't, but I did it. The year, wait for it, 1957. That happens to be the year my mom passed.
Oh my gosh.
I was 6 at the time, but I was going to turn 7 December 11th. So that song and my mom, okay. So I get the Elvis thing, but mom passes. Now I'm singing Blue Christmas. For the next year, you couldn't separate me from the guitar. And we could spend an hour talking about the psychological impact of getting the Elvis guitar and losing my mom and then him making Blue Christmas, but we won't. But I walked around.
I think we just did.
I just think we just did. But I love this. So here's what happened. I so embedded this song that I started to dress and comb my hair like Elvis.
I love it.
That's when my dad, who has what's the antithesis of an open mind? What is that? Like locked shut with 5 million change, you're never getting out.
Right.
That's my dad. So my stepmom was cool with it. She's like, oh, look, she's got her hair all slicked back at dinner. She thinks she's Elvis. She's now wearing one of dad's ties. Okay. I was so emotionally connected to Elvis Presley as a very young child. Now, as I got older, of course, I don't slick my hair back anymore. But the affection of a Blue Christmas and how it touches us, I'm so glad we're talking about it today.
Yes.
Because it has so profound meaning. And so many people this holiday have lost a lot of people. We're coming off a pandemic. We lost a lot of people. What does Blue Christmas mean to you, Mr. Mark?
Well, I think the Elvis song, Blue Christmas, says it for so many people because it's a blue Christmas without you. And you gave us such a beautiful example from your own experience. And there's a flip side to the coin because blue also, it represents depression and, the blues when people are down. But blue also symbolizes calmness, stability, and tranquility. And so that's what we want everyone to have is a blue Christmas. A blue holiday, Hanukkah, as Judaism is associated with the color blue.
Yep.
It's really interesting. This year, I found out something that Hanukkah starts on December 25th and it runs through January 2nd. And it moves around because the Jewish calendar is a lunar calendar. And I found out that the reason for Hanukkah's late arrival this year is because the Jewish calendar's leap year. So what happens is the Gregorian calendar, the Christian calendar, adds an extra day to February every 4 years. The Jewish calendar operates on a 19-year cycle with 7 leap years. So that's why Hanukkah moves around. And normally it's like right before Christmas. Now it's on Christmas and afterwards. And in Eastern cultures, blue is associated with spirituality, wisdom, and the divine. In Hinduism, Krishna is blue.
Yes.
And the god Krishna represents wisdom and divinity. And in Iran, blue is the color of mourning. So each color has an emotional significance, but we can see blue. And I'd like to add this too. Blue is associated in Catholicism and the Greek Orthodox Church with the Virgin Mary, the mother of Jesus. And Our Lady of Guadalupe, it's her day today, December 12th. Supposedly in 1534, she appeared in Guadalupe, Mexico. And I don't want to, get into all that, but so December 12th is a very significant day when it comes to the color blue. And that's why we picked the theme for this show.
Yeah. And for you folks out there, Mark and I always like to dig deep. We're going to take a really short break here in a minute. We're going to come back, go right to the phones for all of you, 1-800-930-2819. And then we're going to really do our best to get everybody in. But this is an interesting song. My sister, 12 years older, got the first version of the song in 1948. Her version came from, what was his name? Odell. The first guy that recorded it. It was originally written on a commuter train going to New York from Connecticut by another guy. What was his name? Jay somebody. And he wrote the song. They couldn't sell it. They couldn't pitch the song. Nashville didn't want it. They wrote it as this country song, right? But finally, somebody took a shot at it, and they call this one of the saddest Christmas songs.
Well, yeah.
It's a sad song, dudes. And it went number one in 1950 when they pitched it. So what is it that made Elvis redo it? What was it about this song that made Elvis put it on? And I have one of these, the original Elvis Christmas album, 1957. Let's take a short break. Anybody that knows the answer to that, come on now, 1-800-930-2819. That Elvis Christmas album is one of the best on the planet to this day. Even with my scratches, I put it on my Technics turntable and my giant Bose speakers, and I'm in holiday heaven. Let's take a short break. Graceland rocks. We'll be right back.
To the Psychic and the Doc here on the Transformation Network. I'm Mark Anthony, JD Psychic Explorer, and I'm here with Dr. Pat Baccili. The theme of tonight's show is the beauty of a blue holiday. And while blue symbolizes the feminine face of God, which some people believe is Mother Mary, other people look at a blue Christmas, a blue Hanukkah, a blue holiday season as mourning and grief without one of our loved ones or several of our loved ones. And that's why Dr. Pat and I are here. That's why we're doing this show, is to help get you through the blue holiday. So Dr. Pat, what do you say we go to the phones?
Do it. Nat, who do we have up first?
All right. Our first caller is going to be Carly from Nevada. Carly, you are on the line.
Hey, Carly, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
How can we help you today? I promise I won't sing. What can we do for you?
No.
To connect? She's like, no, don't sing. Did you hear her say no, Mark? She's like, no.
No.
No. Baccili, don't sing. Carly.
I'm sure you sing beautifully.
Oh, Lord of mercy, that is not true. Let me turn you over to Mark. Let's see. And by the way, Mark, when he does his magic, please just wait for him to finish. He'll ask you a couple of questions and just let him speak first, and then you'll get a turn. Mark?
Super. Carly,
Yes, ma'am.
How can I help you?
Yes, sir. I was just calling to see if anyone has any messages for me.
All right, let me see who is stepping forward for you. Okay, I'm getting a female energy coming through. She is connected to you through your mother's side of the family. She could be on the generational level above you, which would be the parent, but I'm kind of getting more on the grandparent level. And the reason that I'm saying this, Carly, is the way she's dressed. She's got like this blouse and this skirt that goes down to her knees, and she's got this, like she stepped out of the late 1950s, early 1960s type of look. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's when she passed. That could have been when she was kind of at her peak in life. And what I get with her is, yes, now she's morphing into a much older version of herself. And this woman that is coming through was very elderly when she passed. I'm getting pains in my shoulder, my back. I'm feeling this wheezing, like, so she was having difficulty toward her transition with breathing. I'm also getting that for the most part, she was still mentally sharp, but she was having some diffuse mental functioning toward the end of her life. So it was not a big surprise that this woman was going to pass. And when she did, I get this lungs filling up with fluid. It feels to me, that could be a pneumonia, but I'm tending to feel, based on the sensations I'm getting, particularly around my heart, that she passed most likely from congestive heart failure, not unexpected, quite elderly, and people knew that she was going to pass. Do you recognize this person, Carly?
Yeah, so actually it's my mom. So she got bit by a black widow, and she ended up getting an abscess on her spine, and she had a lot of pain in her back. She ended up going into cardiac arrest, because the abscess pushed on the
Right.
spine, and she went without oxygen for so long. And so she went into cardiac arrest, and she was born in 1958, but she does have a picture of one of those skirts and a blouse, so I know
Okay.
exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, Carly. And first off, I'm sorry that your mom passed, but I'm very happy for you that she's coming through. And hold on. It's funny, she's singing you a song, "A Very Merry Unbirthday to You, to you." Now, that's from, what was that from? That was from Disney's Alice in Wonderland. Now, that doesn't necessarily, it could have something to do with a name like Alice, Lisa, Lisa, Alicia, Elizabeth, a variation on Alice. However, normally when I hear that song, Carly, what that indicates to me is 3 weeks either side of today is a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event, which could be connected to you in some way. It could be connected to her or someone else connected to either of you, either on planet Earth or in spirit. Now, this is an interesting time of year because 3 weeks from now, we're in the first week in January. 3 weeks ago was Thanksgiving. So other than gobble gobble, we like Thanksgiving, and ho ho ho, we like Christmas, there's got to be something else in here, or because it's a song related to Alice, it could be a variation on the name Alice, like Alice, Alicia, Lisa, Liza, or Elizabeth. Is there anything in there that resonates with you?
I have an Aunt Lisa. That's my mom's sister.
Is she planet Earth or in
But
spirit with your mom?
she's here.
She's here, so she could be referencing her. What else is there?
I used
What
to
is
watch
it?
Alice in Wonderland. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, let's go with that one. You used to watch it a lot. Now, she's pulling me to the 24th, which of course we know is Christmas Eve. But is there a particular Christmas Eve that stands out from all the rest?
Not that I can think of.
Do you have any specific plans for this Christmas Eve that are standing out?
We're gonna open presents this Christmas Eve because my daughter's gonna be working on Christmas, and then I'm just gonna
There we go.
cook at my house during the day.
Okay, so normally you do the present opening on Christmas Day, but this year on Christmas Eve. Great. Because what that indicates is your mother's around you, she's aware of what's happening, and she's going to be there. Is Auntie Lisa going to be there on Christmas Eve?
No, but she's close always. Anyways, we talk a lot.
Okay, good, because she wants you to keep in touch with Lisa. And who is connected to you that's in law enforcement? Here's why.
Oh well, my brother. Oh, go ahead.
Well, your mom's holding up a pair of handcuffs, so that could mean somebody who's in law enforcement or maybe on the wrong side of it. All right, now you can
Yeah,
respond.
my brother's in jail.
Oh,
My brother was arrested in August, and he's still in jail, and he's trying to get his bail reduced, and they're just kind of giving him the runaround.
well, based on and this is my opinion as an attorney. A lot of times this is a good time to apply for bail because judges tend to be a bit more sympathetic. So who knows? Maybe this Christmas Eve your brother's going to be there as well. Okay, so I'm going to
Maybe.
leave that with you because we've got a lot of callers. I know Dr.
Yeah.
Pat's got some wisdom for you.
I only have one thing to say. Is there something very special about this holiday season for you? I don't know what it is, but I get a sense there's something very special.
Yeah, it's my husband's and I's first Christmas in our house. We remodeled it, and we
go.
just hope that my brother can be a help too.
There we go. Yep, that. I knew there was something. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a weird question about your mom. Did she like Elton John?
She did.
I got the song.
A
I got
lot.
the song. I know a lot. Did you say a lot? You said a lot,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay. I'm not going to sing this song. I promise. Yellow Brick Road is one of my all-time favorite albums. Did she ever listen to Yellow Brick Road?
She
by Elton
did.
John. Okay. Do you know what song is on Yellow Brick Road?
I don't.
All the Girls Love Young Alice. Um, if she
Oh my
lists,
gosh.
all the girls love young Alice. Anybody that loves Elton John understands and loves Elton John from many, many years back. I saw him in 1968 in a small theater. He was the second act for Leon Russell. But that particular song is, you have to go listen to it. After you listen to it, then come back in another week, call back into the show. And I'm so curious about what comes up about that song, right? You
I will.
can't,
I'll definitely
you
do
have
that.
to do it. Yellow Brick Road. You can't not love Elton John and not love Yellow Brick Road. It's impossible. Do you
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
a great album.
All right. So that's your mission. Yellow Brick Road for you
Thank
for this
you.
holiday season. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank,
Thanks.
Love that song. That is like one of my favorites off the album. That and oh my God, so many
that
good
whole
songs.
album just
Oh
was
my God,
great.
please. Okay, Nat, who do we have?
All right, our next caller is Marcy from New Jersey. Marcy, you are on the line.
Hey, Marcy, welcome to the show.
Hello.
You're live. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Great to be here. Thank you.
Is it snowing in Jersey? I know it was really cold. I know you had a little sprinkles of snow somewhere there not too long ago.
Well,
Not
we did
much.
have a dusting, and we've had some rain, but today was chilly and sunny.
You know, Linda was telling me that it has rained so much. I feel so bad for you because I live in Seattle and I know what it's like to walk the dog in the rain. That is just not a happy moment. How can we help you? And if you don't like what was that her dog just barked? Did your
That's
your
my
dog
dog.
they love
Right
me.
on cue.
Dogs love me. I know they do. How can we help you today, Marcy? That's so funny.
Well,
See, the
I
dog is
actually
like, "Don't
met
walk
Mark
me in the
today.
rain."
I know. Well, we
Oh,
have
you're
food
that
being
Marcy.
delivered.
Oh. All right. you
And
two-
Mark, I had some family come through, but I don't know. I was just so drawn to look up it. Like it popped up on social media, the show that you're on right now, that I'm on, and I just felt so drawn to call in.
All
Good.
right. Now, earlier today, oh, and everyone, this is Marcy, the host of Wake Up with Marcy. And Marcy, when we're done, you can tell everyone how to watch your show
Yeah.
because you got a great show and it was really an honor to be a guest. And I know that
Thank you,
we were talking a bit and your dad came through, but your mother is also in spirit, correct?
Mm-hmm. She is.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm getting a female, very mom-like vibe connected to you coming through. And what I'm getting with her is this immense atrophy and pain in my chest. It's like both my lungs feel very, very inflamed and I feel nauseated. Now, nausea, Marcy, can indicate that, and this may be your mom, but it could be another woman connected to you on the mom generational level. Um, the burning sensation can indicate, could be cancer. Nausea can indicate that she was having difficulty eating and or holding down food prior to passing, and sometimes nausea is a cancer indicator. I'm also getting a lot of pain and tightness in the stomach and GI tract. So this poor woman was having a lot of issues in her chest, with her breasts, lungs, and stomach and GI tract. Does any of that, can you identify any of that?
Yeah, my mother, where her heart stopped. My mother was an alcoholic, and she died in her sleep. And we believe that she died from the excessive drinking. And she actually had like something black coming out of her mouth, and I wouldn't be surprised if she was having extreme GI issues.
Yeah.
From her drinking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the burning sensation, that definitely could be the alcoholism. And what she's explaining to me, like you said, that she died from heart failure. I'm getting cardiopulmonary. I mean, she couldn't breathe. And she wants you to know she's so happy now. She said she's now achieved the happiness that she never could in this world. And your dad
Yeah.
is there with her, and he is echoing that sentiment for you. And they're both apologizing to you. They said they're saying to me that you deserved parents that were fully invested in you, but they were both so sidetracked, so absorbed in their own issues and problems, and they're not making excuses about why they drank. They're giving you an explanation. Both your parents had horrific childhoods, horrific childhoods. Your mother said she never felt accepted. She always felt lonely, and she drank to dull the pain. And your father, he had so much anger in him, yet he seemed to be able to avoid reality through drinking. And what they want to tell you, or what they're telling you, Marcy, is how proud they are of you for not turning out like them. And they said that you've come close to the edge, but you have this inner voice, this inner common sense that always emerges and guides you away from the path that they went on. Does any of that make sense to you, Marcy?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm 9 years sober now, and there have been several times in my life that I could have gone down that very dark road, but I found the strength to not go through with it.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Yeah.
I want to give you one more message, because I know Dr. Pat has a lot that she can contribute here. Your mother is holding up an emerald. And emeralds are beautiful green gemstones. They're also the birthstone for the month of May. Now, we were talking a lot about Virgin Mary earlier, and neither Dr. Pat nor I are pushing religion on anybody, but it's the symbolism. May is dedicated to Mary, the mother of Jesus. And that's why when I get emeralds, it can mean a piece of jewelry of significance that you may recognize with an emerald in it. It could be a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event connected to you, Marcy, or to your parents, or someone close to either of you within May. But it can also be a trigger for a variation on the name Mary, like Mary, Marilyn, Margaret, Marianne. Does any of that resonate with you?
I mean, significant things for May would be my son's birthday and my husband's birthday. But I will also say that Mother Mary taught me to love myself. And it's a significant role in my life, yes.
Let's go with all three. That's your parents acknowledging that your husband and your son were born in May, and also that the feminine face of God, Mother Mary, taught you to love yourself. And that's very important, very important. That's part of that inner strength that they were talking about. Dr. Pat?
Yeah, Marcy. Hey, listen, congratulations. You know, look at us. Look at you and me for a minute.
Yeah.
Here we are, both of our moms, mine, addict and alcoholic. I just shared before, I was born into this world when my mom was actually using and drinking. Commit suicide when I'm 6. Here we are. And look at what we're dedicating our lives to. You see, every once in a while when I'm interviewed on other shows, or I do a couple of talks or something, I always get asked that question. And there's one thing I know about the journey that we're on. You and I didn't get here easily, but we are here now. We're here.
Correct.
And because we're here, we follow the signs. And part of the signs, especially with you and your show, Wake Up with Marcy. And by the way, everybody, wakeupwithmarcy.com. And Marcy is Marci. Did I get that right, Marcy?
That's correct. Thank you. Yeah.
Wakeupwithmarcy.com. Go over there. You'll check her, meet the host, get the media kit, look at what she's doing, check out the courses. She's writing books. I don't even know how she had time to call into the show tonight. All of the things you're doing are why you and I are here. And I don't know if this is a message you get, but 2 days ago, we're planning out our upgraded technology and the launch of 3 additional channels on the Transformation Network. That's my network. That's the network that I own. And so we were deciding what channels to launch, right? So we moved one of the channels to the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, I do believe my mom, because I think you get the same messages from somebody. Because if you didn't get them, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
100%.
But the message came through. And you got to know my people. I'm from New York, right? New York, New Jersey. And you got to know that when they talk to you, they're not like they're cussing and whatever, right?
Not subtle. My family's from there too.
So here's the message. And this is why I'm so glad you called in, because you and I have a message for the world. Alcoholism and drug abuse has never been higher. The pandemic did something no other pandemic could do for alcoholics and drug addicts got really creative. So we weren't going to launch our addiction channel in the first corner. Somehow somebody did some statistical mumbo jumbo. And the message I got through in the middle of a dream was, how dare you not do that? Yeah. And so you're on a mission and I'm on a mission.
Yeah.
And part of it is exactly like you have in the book, Chaos to Clarity. Because here we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
I want to thank you for doing what you do in the world. I want to thank you for what you support, the orphanages, what you do around the world. I want to thank you for having the courage to do a show and to syndicate that show and expand that show. In coverage to do it in the tri-state area, you get a bonus for that. I'm in Seattle, so I took a kinder, gentler route. Thank you so much for calling in, and please keep up the work.
Yes.
Keep the message out
Thank
there.
you.
Thank you, Marcy. So great to have you. You bet.
Thank you for calling,
Thank
Marcy.
you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
thank you, Marcy.
Bye.
Thank you very
It's
much.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Like
By
that.
the
Thank you
way,
very much.
Marcy's show, if you go to her website, wakeupwithmarcy.com, you can meet Marcy, but you could also find out how to listen. So you just go over there, check it out, and listen. And you'll hear all about her own story and her own personal journey of overcoming alcoholism like we both have. All right, who's next? Nat. Let's go.
All right, our next caller is going to be Shirley from Long Island. Shirley is back. Shirley, you're on the air.
Shirley's back. Hey, Shirley, how are you? How can we help you tonight?
I had a message I called last week, and you told me that Mark told me about a 21-year-old. I did relieve the message to somebody, and they were very negative towards it, but I did do that. But the reason why I'm calling in
is this when I told you? Let me ask you though. I gotta make sure I'm talking to the right person. Is this when I said to you, just keep saying I love you?
No.
You? No. What was the message we gave you, Shirley? Or you can't tell us?
Mark gave me the message. It was a younger male, 21. There was a lot of blood, and it comes into their dreams, and Holly, either a person or the plant, and was very spiritual. So the two people that I knew that lost people that were in their 20s, I related. It wasn't the first person, but I believe it was the second person, but they were in denial.
Okay, got it.
So
that happens. Just so you know, you didn't do anything wrong. Mark and I get it all the time. How can we help you tonight?
I'm going through a really rough time right now. And I have surgery coming up. And I just want to know if my family is around.
Well, they are. Let's see who's coming through first. I'm getting we must be getting a run on moms tonight, because I'm getting a female energy, a mom coming through. And I'm not sure where the surgery is, and you don't have to get into your medical issues, but I'm getting this message about post-surgery. It's going to be difficult for you to walk for some time. And I realize that after surgery, getting out of bed and running around is is difficult under any circumstances, but there's something that she's bringing up about walking or walking a lot after the surgery. That doesn't mean walk a lot. I'm getting like be very, very careful. Does any of that, do you recognize that?
I do a lot of walking now.
Okay. Are you going to be able to do a lot of walking after the surgery? I know obviously you got to recover from it.
Yeah, they told me that I should be able to go back to my normal activities.
Perfect. Okay, so good. I like when I hear that because that sounds good. All right, so we know we got mom coming in here, and now she's making me taste licorice, black licorice. How does black licorice resonate with you? Do you love it or do you hate it? Because I'm tasting black and it's
It
expensive
used to
stuff,
be one
not
of
the
my
cheap
favorites
stuff.
when I was younger. Yeah.
Aha. Okay. So see, your mom's building a rapport with me, and she keeps showing me canned sodas, and I'm hearing like opening up the canned sodas, and she's pushing those away. Is there any issue with you in soft drinks or sodas?
I don't drink soda.
Very good. So your mom's giving us things about you. Now, let's see. She said, never you mind about the surgery. You're going to be fine. Never you mind about the surgery. You're going to be fine. She's repeating and repeating that. She said that, I don't mean to laugh, but she said, true to our family, we work ourselves up over something. And she said, stop obsessing. She said, you have your plan, get everything set up, you're going to go through it. And the last thing she's given me is a bunch of oysters. Now, oysters could be a trigger for the month of June because pearls come out of oysters, and pearls are the birthstone for the month of June. And that could mean births, deaths, anniversaries, or events connected to you, Shirley, or someone close to you within the month of June. It could be a female J name, June, Jean, Jane, Janet, Jody, because of June. And it could be something about pearls. But boy, I'm getting the whole oyster thing. What is there someone who loves shellfish or is allergic to it? Because this is really strong oyster message.
No, my son was born in June.
Okay, so that's it. Okay. And she keeps saying he's fine, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. Is there something going on with him? But she said he's fine.
He passed.
Then he's fine because he's there with her. Hold on. Go ahead. You were about to say something. Go ahead, Shirley.
He passed away December 30th.
Oh my goodness. So she's
of 2014.
saying he's fine because he's there with her. Let's get him in here. His passing, the younger male is coming through. I feel very sudden.
Yes.
And all of a sudden I feel like I'm going into cardiopulmonary failure really rapidly. Like all of a sudden I just can't breathe. And I get a dizzy disorientation and a bit of a nausea, but then he said it was pure bliss. He went right into the light. Yes, it was very quick. Yes.
It was a narcotic type thing. Yes.
That's what the dizzy disorientation. He wants you to know he went right into the light. And is there a grandfather figure? I want to say like Papa or Pop. There was a
Papa was my grandfather.
That's who greeted him. Well, there was a lot of people there, but that he was front and center. And so that spirit is there with him as well. And that's why your mom is saying he's fine. He's here with us. We are at peace. We are at peace.
Yeah, they're all there with them. I know.
All right.
Wow.
Dr. Pat?
I have one question for you. What are you doing for the holiday season?
Probably nothing.
Is that something you have to do, or can you do something else?
Well, I can go see my sister, but I'm not too Christmassy.
No, I know you're not. That's why I'm asking you the question, because there are times when, I don't know if you heard me talk about Blue Christmas and losing my mother November 22nd, and talk about
I did.
Elvis Presley, right? And, it took a lot for me to get Christmas, a holiday that today I love. But I want to encourage you to do something different this year. I do. If you don't want to go see your sister, and the reason you don't want to go see your sister is why? Because you don't like her, or she's like humbug. What? What's the reason?
Just the environment.
Her family environment.
I don't
over the
feel that.
holidays?
I don't feel that I don't feel like I'm wanted.
That hurts your heart, doesn't it? That hurts, right?
It just feels like it's an obligation type thing. So,
You have some healing to do around them, don't you?
yeah, a lot.
I'm going to encourage you to do something this holiday season. Let me tell you what I had to do for a really long time for me to love Christmas again. I grew up loving Christmas. There was nothing to me more powerful. And then one day I didn't. So what got me to love Christmas again was getting out of my own space and go to the Chicken Soup Brigade and make turkeys and make meals. And this was for
Right.
people with AIDS. And just the act of being around other people and the act of giving, it was so extremely important, especially when you lose people like you've lost. And I'm not saying to do this just to do it, but I want you to be
Right.
around happy people, caring people. Can you do any kind of volunteer work like that where you live?
No, I tried that. It just didn't work out for me.
It didn't work out.
I did the volunteer thing. It didn't work out.
Because
I just couldn't handle it.
you couldn't handle doing the volunteer work.
Right.
Okay. So you do have some healing. Mark, what is the group she can call to become part of the grief group? 'Cause
Yes.
that's where I really think that's where you got to start.
Helping Parents Heal. Shirley, look up the
Yeah.
organization, Helping Parents Heal. I do a lot of work with them, and they incorporate mediumship and spirit communication as part of the healing
Yeah.
process. But it also, they have chapters all over the country, and then you
Yeah.
can connect with other parents whom they refer to as shining light parents, because the light of the love for your child lives forever within your heart and shines ever brightly as an immortal living spirit in the afterlife. And I think that is exactly the organization that you need to be with. And then that way you can network with other people who understand you and what you're going through. Because
Yeah.
for shining light parents like yourself, nobody can understand. People, even family members, will fade away because they feel uncomfortable around you, because it's the white elephant in the room nobody wants to talk about. But when
Right.
you're around other shining light parents,
Yeah.
you'll start forming new relationships and new bonds, and it's extremely healing.
Yeah. And you can be who you are. End of story. You can be who you
Yeah.
are.
Right.
You just
Exactly.
show up who you are. Thank you so much, Shirley. Thank you for calling in.
All right. Thank you.
And
Have a good
yeah,
holiday.
You
All
two
right,
know
thank
we're
you.
here
Bye-bye.
for you. Thank you. Wow. Nat, let's bring on Christina, I think from New York, if we could.
Yes, our next caller is Christina from New York. Christina, you are on the line.
Hi, Christina. Welcome to
Hello.
the show. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly. I knew that when I heard you. What can we do for
Yeah.
you? What part of New York
I've just-
are you in?
Excuse me?
What part of New York are you in?
Oh, I'm in Suffolk County, New York.
Of course you are. What a great I totally love it. Oh my God. I
Yes.
guess everything is all sparkly and whatnot, right?
Yes. Yes. I've
I
just
got to
been
tell
having
you,
a rough
nobody
time.
decorates Christmas like New Yorkers. I'm just saying. Okay.
Yes, I
Email me
know.
later, everybody.
I know.
Just email me now all your pictures to prove me wrong. I love it. Info at the Dr. Pat Show. Just come on, bring it on. How can we help you tonight?
I'm going through a rough time too. This is the time of year, and there's a lot of birthdays and anniversaries and all other events that's happening at this particular time. So it's really hard for me. I lost my husband a little while ago, and it would have been our 54th anniversary last week, and it's just been very hard.
Okay, let's first off, please accept our deepest sympathy and condolences on the passing of your beloved husband.
Thank you.
And there's a guy stepping in, and please forgive me, but he's making me laugh. He is just this big personality, happy, beaming. It's like, so when's the party start, honey? That's what he says first. He's like, when's the party start, honey? And he's hilarious. He is making me crack up. And he said, I always hated going on those damn cruises. All right, what's up with the cruises? There's got to be something with the cruise.
Oh, he liked the cruises. I thought he did anyway, but we did go on a lot of cruises.
No
You know
way.
what? It's funny
Is he
because I
telling me
never.
now he didn't like them?
He said he liked being with you, and because you wanted to go, that's why he went.
Yes.
But he's laughing
Yes.
about it too. He goes,
Yes.
he didn't mind. He goes, staying on the ship was fine because all those damn excursions, I couldn't stand it. He said, but he always
Nope,
smiled.
he didn't go on.
Yeah. So he is got he. You know what it is? He's coming in being funny, not because he's making light of your grief.
I know.
Because he's
He wants me happy.
He's here to
I know it.
cheer you up. And oh wow, he's making me taste a very specific brand of ice cream. And I know this one because I like it. It's Cherry Garcia, Ben and Jerry's Cherries Garcia. It's got cherries and chocolate and all kinds of goodies in it.
Yep.
Now
he would like that. Yep.
all right, he liked that. All right, great. So see, he's pumping us full of ice cream and cheer and fun and all that. And he said, would you stop moping around, go to all the damn parties and birthdays? And he goes, if nothing else, just do it. And the reason he's telling you that is he does not want you to be alone. And he also said just now, tell my wife she's never alone. I'm always with her. He goes, oh boy, he is naughty, this one. He said, all right, tell her I don't watch her when she's in the bathroom, but other than that, I'm all alone. This guy is cracking me up.
Yes, he does.
Hilarious. God, the stuff he's saying. But, and you got to realize, he's going to be around you. He's with you, but he wants you to be with your family, with the friends, with everyone. He goes, do it. He goes, do it if it kills you, because if it does, you'll see me sooner rather than later. God, this guy, it's like watching, who was that? Don Rickles. Remember Don Rickles, the comedian? He reminds me, at least personality and his sense of humor, like that. He's got all these one-liners. But thing is, and when he made that joke, that doesn't mean intentionally cut your life short. Okay, that does not. He's just telling you he wants you to be around family. He keeps saying, I want her to be happy if it kills her. And God, wow, Dr. Pat, I'm going to have to turn this over to you. This guy's cracking me up.
I love it. Listen, okay, what are the things you canceled that you were going to go to that you're not now?
No, I didn't cancel. I didn't cancel anything. It's just that everything does come up at this time. Our wedding anniversary was coming up. Christmas Eve, we do have Christmas Eve, but he used to be Santa Claus every year for the last 51 years.
Wow, yeah.
And it's going to be hard without him.
So can you be Mrs. Claus this year for the family?
Well, the consensus is I spoke to all the grandkids. They want to do Christmas caroling instead this year.
Well, all right, Dr. Pat,
because
take it away.
I asked them if they wanted to take his place, and they said no.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with the caroling thing. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Two things you're into. I'm just going to say a word that is not correct.
No one could be him. That's the whole thing. No one could be him.
No, of course not. No, I mean, when that happened in our family, we dressed the dog up. And, our passing dad thought that was hilarious because the dog was the Santa. maybe that explains why the dog peed on the tree that year. Here's what I want to say. Mark is right. Carol, singing does so much.
Yes.
But you are going to be with your family, and that is so
Yes.
the thing to do.
Yes,
That
but
is
like my
so the
birthday is 2 days after Christmas. His birthday would have been January 5th, so there's a lot of things coming up.
Oh, you two Capricorns got together, eh? You must have climbed every but I bet you got a little Sagittarius, because Sagittarius like to go to do the adventure thing. So that's a cruising thing. But look, isn't it so precious to love somebody the way you love each other?
Yes, I was very lucky, very, very lucky.
Yeah,
He's
really
a wonderful,
special.
wonderful person, and he was a lot of fun, and I miss that. I miss the fun.
You know what? Don't be surprised if a little trickster thing happens around the holidays. That happens to me all the time. My dad does something around the holidays totally weird, right? Like the dog. That day with the dog, dressing the dog up, that did not work for Dad. So therefore, dog peed on the tree. So, but do something. No, I'm not kidding. This is my dad. My dad was the biggest, sounds like my dad, the biggest jokester, the happiest guy on the planet, right? But you love
Yes.
him, and that's what you want to hold in your consciousness.
I know.
I don't know
I
that
know.
this is for you, but I want to tell you what I tell some of the people I work with. I don't know if this is for you. A couple of my clients that love to be in communication with their husband, wife, spouse, partners, whatever. I asked them if they want to write a letter. And sometimes that helps some people after the holiday to write the letter. But to write the letter as if they're there because they're there in spirit. You understand? Now, I don't know that that's for you. I don't know you well enough to know.
Right.
That's
No,
something
I
you
would do that, definitely.
Okay, good. I never know. When I give this advice, we're on air. We're probably a million miles away, but
Yes,
there's
no, I
something
thank
about
you.
writing
That's a great idea.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. But I found that so interesting to do that. And then years later, I would go back. And it was just a special moment. So
Yes.
have a very happy holiday. And congratulations to your family for not being Santa.
Thank you. And thank you
And
so
go
much. You made me
Carolyn.
happy tonight. The both
Okay,
of you. Thank
so
you
I've
so
got
much.
one more request. They got to sing Blue Christmas by Elvis Presley. Did you hear us talk about that earlier today?
Yes, and all day yesterday I kept hearing it, that song, all day yesterday.
I know.
I'll have
It's
a
like-
blue Christmas.
Oh, I have a terrible
without
voice
you.
too. Christmas without you.
Come on, you can do it. Sing with us. Come on.
Without you.
Without you.
Come on.
Decorations of what?
On a green
On the
Christmas
green
tree.
Christmas tree.
Oh.
I'll have a blue,
You know,
blue, blue,
Dr.
blue.
Pat,
And if my husband was around, he'd be singing it just like Elvis.
exactly. And in Dr. Pat's right, singing does wonders for raising spirits.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does. I know.
Okay, so this has been our song show. I am so glad. I can't wait till our other caller plays All the Young Girls Love Alice and start singing that around the holidays. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank
Please
you.
have
Thank
an
you so
amazing-
much. Have
You
happy
bet.
holidays, both of you.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Happy holidays.
And a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Mark, thank you so much. What's your personal message, Mark? What would you like to leave us with? Bring us out today.
Well, I want to invite everyone to sign up for my newsletter at afterlifefrequency.com. And my message is, thank you. Thank you very much. And Dr. Pat and I will be back next week, because next week's show is when a bell rings. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Seriously, next week's show is when a bell rings. And Dr. Pat and I will be back with more messages from the other side and good old plain common healing sense. Thank you guys. Have a merry Ramahan Abadi Dwali Kwanzmas, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic in the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat. Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.